All right, good evening. I will call to order the June 25th, 2026 regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners. Please rise for the pledge. Can we have the roll call, please?
President Ruffing.
Here.
Vice President Anzier.
Here.
Commissioner Balkrishna.
Here.
Commissioner Jacks.
Here.
Commissioner Janner.
Here.
Commissioner Risbald.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Do we have any matters from the public?
We do not.
All right. Would you please read the consent agenda for us?
Item 3.1, approve the appointments of Leslie Ruffing and Chris Jacks to the Finance Committee, President Ruffing to interim chair said committee. 3.2, approve the appointments of Allison Thompson, Aishwarya Balakrishna, and John Risbald to the Legislative Committee, Commissioner Thompson to interim chair said committee. 3.3, approve the appointments of Aishwarya Balakrishna, Rich Janner, and Rhonda Anzier to the Parks and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Balakrishna to interim chair said committee. 3.4, approve the appointment of Leslie Ruffing to the Riverwalk Commission. 3.5, approve June 11, 2026 regular meeting minutes. 3.6, approve June 11, 2026 executive session closed meeting minutes. 3.7, award a professional services contract to V3 Companies LTD in the amount of $54,720 for embankment stabilization for bridges number 1 and 2 at Springbrook Parkway. 3.8, award the geotechnical engineering professional services contract for the new community activity center at Frontier Sports Complex for lump sum fee not to exceed $67,755 to ECS Midwest LLC. 3.9, award the building commissioning professional services contract for the new community activity center at Frontier Sports Complex for a lump sum fee not to exceed $195,000 to Enercon Ltd, DBA Grumman Butkus Associates. 3.10, award the construction management professional services contract to White Construction Services, Inc. for the new community activity center at Frontier Sports Complex for a lump sum fee not to exceed $3,211,000 for pre-construction and construction manager services, including a preliminary project guaranteed maximum price placeholder of $119,750,000. 3.11, reject the bid from Obsidian Asphalt Paving, Inc. for failure to submit a responsive bid and to accept the base bid and alternate number 2 for the DuPage River Sports Complex basketball court renovation project from Abbey Construction Co., Inc. as the lowest responsive and responsible bid in the amount of $106,484 and to authorize staff to carry a further 3% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $109,679. 3.12, approve ordinance 1087 authorizing a grant of temporary construction easement between the Naperville Park District and DuPage Water Commission at Tall Grass Greenway for construction of a portion of the Waterlink project. 3.13, approve ordinance 1088 authorizing a grant of temporary construction easement between the Naperville Park District and DuPage Water Commission at Frontier Sports Complex for construction of a portion of the Waterlink project. 3.14, approve ordinance 1089 authorizing a grant of permanent easement between the Naperville Park District and DuPage Water Commission at Tallgrass Greenway for maintenance of a portion of the Waterlink project. 3.15, approve ordinance 1090 authorizing a grant of permanent easement between the Naperville Park District and DuPage Water Commission at Frontier Sports Complex for maintenance of a portion of the Waterlink project. 3.16, approve ordinance 1096 amending board policies 1.0, 2.0, and 2.1 as presented effective June 25th, 2026. 3.17, approve ordinance 641 as amended. 3.18, approve the district's 3-year financial plan 2026 through 2028.
Thank you, Marissa. Should any items be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately? Seeing none.
Move to accept consent agenda items 3.1 through 3.18.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Anzier?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Balkrishna?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risbald?
Yes.
President Ruffing?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 3.1 through 3.18.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to new business with 5.1 Commissioners Park, 111th Street right-of-way trail renovation.
Good evening. A contract for this project is to be presented to the Park Board for approval in July. The scope of work includes repaving the trail at Commissioners Park in the 111th Street right-of-way between 248th Avenue and the west parking lot entrance. Pending contract approval, work is expected to be performed this summer and fall following completion of curb and sidewalk work along 111th Street being completed this summer by the City of Naperville.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we will go to department updates, beginning with administration.
Good evening. The 2026 Labor Day Parade will again be hosted by the Naperville JCs in conjunction with Last Fling on Monday, September 7th. Commissioners and their families are invited to participate. I will be reaching out to the board soon to gather interest, and additional details will be provided as the event comes closer.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. I know there's no report from finance, so next up is golf.
Good evening. Couple updates from golf. The Brooks Tournament Series has scheduled in July and August the Naperville City Golf Championships at Springbrook and Naperbrook. Courses will be hosting city championships for juniors, men, women, and seniors over the next 2 months. First up will be the Naperville Junior Amateur. This tournament will be on Monday, July 6th at Naperbrook. We're expecting over 100 boys and girls ages 9 through 17, with participants competing in flights based on age and gender. Several of the best young golfers in Naperville compete in this tournament, which will range from 6 holes for the younger competitors to 9 holes for junior high ages and 18 holes for the high school age players. All the participants will receive lunch and a tea prize with the round, and the low finishers in each flight will receive trophies. The rain and severe storms have impacted the courses in June, quite the switch from the dry spring months. While the severe storms did not damage the golf courses as significantly as areas in the north and central sections of town, the courses did experience some minor tree damage, and the heavy rainfall has limited cart availability when the courses are too wet. The rain has also put a damper on golf rounds this month. The courses have seen a total of 7 days with rain impacts so far this month. As a result, the rounds are down about 5% compared to June of 2025. Overall, despite the difficult weather this month, rounds and revenues year to date remains positive when compared to last year and to the budget. And also on a very positive note, merchandise sales are up nearly 20% compared to last year's year to date. Staff are seeing increased club sales in 2026 despite the higher prices. Some of the increase in club sales can be attributed to hosting several demo days at both courses. Those allow the patrons to try equipment and get professionally fitted for the right equipment by our golf professionals and equipment technicians. More demo days are scheduled for various club manufacturers in July, so we hope to continue that positive trend.
Have you done demo days in the past, or is
We have.
Okay.
We've just been able to schedule a few more this year, and the club manufacturers are actually trying to get a lot of their new equipment out, so they're more than happy to be on our facilities.
That's great. That's awesome. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. All right. There's no report from Human Resources. We'll go on to IT.
Good evening, everyone. Got a few different updates from IT with some of the work that we've been working on or are about to jump into. So around different IT projects, we're preparing a pilot of Microsoft Azure Virtual Desktop to replace our aging VMware Horizon solution. This is the solution that staff, when working remotely, utilize to get access to internal resources. This will ensure better ongoing support, controlled costs, and several aging servers from the infrastructure. We're also working on various scoping efforts for some of the 2027 projects in preparation for budget, so we can have those numbers, including some updates to our main server cluster and the core network stack. On the topic of communications, we're working with T-Mobile to test an in-building solution to improve cellular service in the lower-level office spaces here at Fort Hill. It's been a pain point for staff that have to have critical communication, so we're working on that. And we're also working on transition or cancellation of any legacy POTS lines. These are your traditional old-school copper lines. Industry and regulatory changes are forcing the issue with pretty significant price increases having already been implemented and eventual cancellation or transition being forced to jump off the technology. And then a couple of security-related updates. We are anticipating selecting a penetration testing vendor in the next month and planning for that engagement in either late summer or early fall. We do that about every 2 years, just as part of our security framework. We're also going to be presented with the findings of an audit of our access control early next week, and from that we're going to be looking to scope some access control upgrades out of this year's capital budget. And then the camera system upgrades continue with us now having both golf courses on upgraded camera systems, and we're working to identify the next sites that we'll be upgrading based on scale, cost, and need. So,
Okay.
anything else? Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up is marketing.
Good evening. I've got a couple of updates for you tonight. As you know, our summer playground ribbon cuttings are rolling on, and we just had the one for Apache Park earlier this week and had a really good turnout. So that was pretty cool. We had wonderful weather, which always helps. We do have 2 more coming up here in the next month in July. July 7th, we have Willoway Park, and then on July 14th, we'll be at Burr Oak. Tuesdays, 5 p.m. So looking forward to that. And then we'll look to this fall to see, I think we've got 2 or 3 more to schedule later on. So Kevin gave you some good news during his report, and he's allowing me to give you a little bit of golf/marketing good news. As you know, Springbrook enjoys a lot of great visibility with the driving range because you can see it as you're driving by. Naperville, not so much. So that's always been a little bit of a challenge. And I worked with my staff. I thought, let's try a little promotion over at Naperville to see if we can generate some more buzz and some more interest in the range specifically. So we put together a large banner, which is at the corner of Hassert and Naper Plainfield Road. And then we've also boosted that with a paid Facebook targeted campaign, which we started at the beginning of May. And we've seen a sustained 20% lift in range use over the past month. So as Kevin mentioned, we've seen a little bit of softening of golf just because of the rain. He did a little bit of analysis, and prior to the last couple of weeks with the rain, Springbrook was really unchanged. So we were really seeing just kind of flat use, which is great because Springbrook really outperforms Naperbrook. But then being able to see that 20% lift specifically at Naperbrook has been excellent. So we're going to continue to monitor that campaign through the summer and the fall, and we'll see if we need to tweak it at all, and we'll just continue to look at the data. But that's pretty exciting.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Sure.
Any questions? Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate those efforts. All right, Park Police, you are up.
Good evening. All right, so far this month, we have assisted the city police with two teen takeovers, one of which was going to take place at Centennial Beach, but really never materialized. We have another one scheduled for tomorrow evening, and we might even have a 4th scheduled next Tuesday. So we will be working closely with the Naperville Police to try and manage these. In the last 30 days, as a department, we have generated 17 police reports, suspended 6 patrons from different Park District properties, and written 29 citations, primarily parking tickets. Last night, a member of the department actually apprehended a 16-year-old kid that the Naperville police were chasing on foot downtown. A subsequent search of his path prior to being caught yielded a fanny pack that he had disposed of in a garbage can in the parking deck. The handgun actually had a drum on it with 49 rounds of ammunition. So he was taken into custody and charged through the city police. And lastly, we're currently fine-tuning our plans for the 4th of July at Frontier Park. So
Thank you for that update and all that. Thank you for keeping our community safe. Any questions? Thank you, Chief. All right. Next up is Parks.
I have the Parks update for Tim, Director Quigley. 2 weeks ago, the severe storms that moved through Naperville on June 10th and 11th left behind fallen trees, downed limbs, and debris throughout the park system. Initial storm on June 10th produced powerful straight-line winds approaching 70 miles an hour, resulting in widespread damage across several parks on the north side of town. A second round of severe weather arrived the following day, with the National Weather Service later confirming that EF0 touchdown on Naperville's east side. Following the June 10th storm, several employees from the Central and South Parks divisions returned to work to assist North Parks staff with the initial cleanup efforts around Centennial Beach and to identify hazards throughout the park system. Crews from all 3 divisions continued their collaborative response the next day, focusing on debris removal and hazard mitigation before additional storms arrived later in the day. While the tornado caused significant damage in portions of the community, most of the widespread damage within the Park District properties resulted from the straight-line winds experienced on June 10th. Several parks were affected, with considerable damage at Centennial Beach and Centennial Park, Heritage Woods, Kendall Park, and Olson Estates. Staff prioritized the removal of safety hazards and the clearing of parking lots, pathways, and other high-traffic areas. Cleanup efforts have continued in the days since, with crews chipping and removing storm debris and further inspecting woodland areas for additional damage. Fortunately, damage to district-owned assets was minimal and limited primarily to a section of perimeter fencing at the beach and several spectator benches at Centennial Park. In addition to clearing or cleaning the parks, staff are logging and tracking labor hours and materials, as well as photographing and documenting each fallen tree to provide to our insurer to assist with any claims processing. We are able to capture this data in the new OpenGov asset management system and will be able to utilize its reporting functions required to assist with this process. Earlier this month, staff from North Parks Division met with a local Girl Scout troop at Century Farms to discuss the benefits of prescribed burns. The group learned how prescribed burns contribute to a healthy ecosystem, control invasive species, and promote native plant growth. Staff also shared information about the extensive planning and safety measures that are incorporated into every burn operation, and they were delighted to assist the troop with this learning opportunity. And lastly, wanted to share that the South Parks Division promoted Pedro Gonzalez to fill one of its open park specialist positions. Pedro previously served the district in a part-time role within the North Parks Division. Just wanted to congratulate Pedro on this well-deserved promotion.
Thank you for filling in for Director Quigley. We won't ask you any questions. All right, next up is planning.
I have two updates for the board this evening. The first on the new Community Activity Center at Frontier Sports Complex. Earlier this evening, the contracts for construction management, building commissioning, and geotechnical engineering and professional services were awarded as part of developing the new Community Activity Center. As a recap, the key services for construction management include constructability review, schedule monitoring, cost estimating, and on-site construction management of the activity center. In addition, the construction management team will assist with preparing construction trade packages and coordinating all bid phase services. Also, the trade contracts will be presented to the park board for review and consideration when ready. In conjunction with the work, the project's building commissioning agent will provide engineering and professional services, including mechanical, plumbing, electrical, security, life safety, emergency, power, fire protection, and energy modeling for the Community Activity Center during the construction phase. Energy modeling is so important because it calculates the building and how it will consume the energy and the complete operating systems of the facility, just like we have here at the Fort Hill Activity Center before the facility is built. So that is a very important step in the process. Also, the geotechnical team will prepare geotechnical and engineering reports with recommendations in coordination with the project team and perform construction services on site. The project team is currently evaluating program spaces with dimensions, access and circulation options, and the overall site layout, as well as preparing design drawings and construction documents for the project. In addition, the geotechnical team will soon be conducting soil borings within the project area site at Frontier Sports Complex. A total of 22 soil borings ranging in depth between 20 and 25 feet will be conducted in the proposed building footprint and aquatics areas to ensure that the structural foundations and footings are at the proper locations and size appropriately. The report findings will greatly assist the project team with preparing site layout and structural plans for the new activity center. And next, I want to talk a little bit about the expansion properties. Regarding the Heritage Woods expansion property, on Friday, June 5th, the Naperville Park District is very happy and proud to close on the property, 6.5 acres of the Heritage Woods expansion property. With the approval of the change order with the Geologic Associates at the June 11th Park Board meeting, the project team is beginning the process of demolishing the old structures on site, which includes the release of resident notification letters and permitting, remediation, and site restoration services. For the Walnut Ridge Park expansion property, we're also pleased to announce that on Wednesday, June 3rd, we closed on that property, and that was 5.7 acres. Staff are currently gathering quotes from contractors to perform tree trimming, landscaping, and installation of natural trails with the goal to begin work on site as soon as possible. Both expansion properties are scheduled to be open to the public in 2027.
Thank you for that update. Any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate you. All right, and finally is recreation.
Hello. Annual maintenance will begin at the Fort Hill Activity Center on Friday, July 3rd, with the gymnasium floor being refinished. The gymnasium will be closed July 3rd through July 9th, along with the gymnasium, the indoor track, and childcare. will be closed July 3rd through July 5th. As a reminder, during this project time, there will be a slight odor in the facility, so please plan your workouts accordingly. The Fort Hill Activity Center will be open on 4th of July from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free outdoor fitness class, Zumba in the Park, will be held Friday, July 24th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Wagner Pavilion at the 95th Street Community Plaza. Registration is required. We have received a couple of new paddle boards that are available to rent at the paddleboat quarry for 20 or 40-minute rides. The paddleboat quarry is open daily from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Join us for a morning of play, Saturday, July 11th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Knock Knolls Nature Center. Designed for families with children ages 3 to 10, but all ages are welcome. Fun, educational, summer-themed activities brought to you by Knock Knolls Nature Center, Naperville Public Library, Naper Settlement, and DuPage Children's Museum. The Naperville Plays event is free and no registration is required. Magical Starlight Theater has announced their winter 2027 production. The performance will be Anastasia. Auditions will be held in September. Naperville Dance Academy held their dance recital at North Central College Pfeiffer Hall on May 31st. Family members and friends gathered to enjoy the performances of dancers ages 3 to 17 during 4 recital showcases, showcasing a variety of dance styles. A total of 318 dancers participated in the recital. Elan's dance showcase was on Friday before, with 54 dancers participating. The program also included a senior solo, a meaningful tradition that honors graduating dancers. The annual Kite Fly event was held on Sunday, June 7th. The weather was excellent throughout the event and was perfect for kite flying. The event attracted hundreds of participants. Our first 2 concerts in your park and children's lunch hour events have taken place. All dates enjoyed beautiful weather and were well attended, making for a successful start to both programs.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. No questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our next meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners is scheduled for July 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. right here at Fort Hill. We'll move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the June 25th, 2026 regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.